little bit about that.
Yeah, and I've noticed so that you are specifically like tokenized securities, not tokenized derivatives, not tokenized like commodities. So with the tokenized securities market, is it the real estate market that you would say is the more has more market share so far, and as far as like being tokenized, or would it be the stocks and bonds?
Yeah, I just looked at an industry report actually a couple of days ago, and 89% of what has been tokenized so far is real estate, right?
Oh.
So that's a pretty clear indication that real estate is the biggest asset class right now that we are tokenizing. And we tokenize shares in companies that own real estate, right? So tokenization of shares is also the majority. I think it's 99% of the tokenization of real estate is done using shares. It's a little bit that is done using where you tokenize the title or the deed. There's also a little bit that is done where you tokenize bonds, loan instruments, profit share type arrangement, but yeah, almost all of it is the tokenization of shares for various reasons. It's easier from a legal standpoint, but it's also much easier for the investors to understand, which is important at the end of the day for investor protection.
I think so, and I think like not very many people really understand like tokenization all that well yet. It's a concept that you sort of hear and people kind of talk about. They're like, I'm gonna, like tokenize my house one day, right? And
yeah,
and give people exposure to that. And
I think you will in a few years,
right?
probably.
Exactly.
You'll have the ability at least.
That's what we're curious of. So when somebody tokenizes, say their house, like what kind of market does it then go to after that? Like where people can get exposure to it?
It's a big question, right? So no one is tokenizing the house yet, I don't think, or at least very few. If they do, there's no real marketplace to sell it into at this stage. There's no liquidity in the market yet, or very limited liquidity. There's only liquidity for the really big projects that are able to list on an exchange and pay 20,000 for that. But companies are coming up, and we are basically powering them with our platform that will have the business model of helping people to tokenize their own homes. So that will come, I think, within 1 or 2 years. But as a homeowner, you'd not do it yourself, I would say, and get a platform like ours, and then just go off and do it. You'd work with, I think, one of our white label partners with a larger scope, a larger business model around specifically maybe tokenizing home ownership, and also creating liquidity for it. But I'm sure it will come. Also, because we are getting later in the year, I think the ability to use real estate-backed tokens as collateral for loans, tapping into the DeFi lending ecosystem, I think will be huge for all of us, and enabling DeFi users, DeFi investors to get access to real estate, much more stable tokens than what they normally see, right? I think will be extremely interesting for them, but also just connecting the real estate world with the huge innovation and liquidity that we see in the DeFi ecosystem will be important too.
I look forward to that day.
Yeah.